Hey guys, this is VesperArcade. I'm joined again by Killy, and will be our fifth part for a Capcom Pro Tour overview. And this time we are going to talk about Momochi. So, Killy, who the hell is Momochi?
Momochi is from Japan, long-time fighting game player, but I think his popularity came during SF4, and mostly in particular Arcade Edition. But starting with Vanilla, he was originally an Akuma player.
Yeah, that's where I know him too. He started off as Akuma.
And he had like a very unique Akuma. Most Akuma players were kind of similar to like Tokido in that they used the Vortex. Momochi wasn't too much of a Vortex player. He was just more of a zoning, footsie based Akuma, and his zoning was like really insane with Akuma. Even Tokido is like, I can't play the fireball game. I'm not Momochi.
Yeah, back in like Vanilla, Akuma is just extra nuts because of his double kick roundhouse was so crazy. It could just lead into like
the stand jab, the loop, right?
Yeah,
stand jab,
the mini loop, man. It was nuts. And the first time I saw Momochi was when he was playing Akuma, and he was playing against Daigo actually. And he was beating Daigo pretty convincingly. Daigo had a hard time dealing with his fireball game. Momochi's fireball game was really, really good. And yeah, just those standing roundhouse pokes, man, was just so nuts in the vanilla days.
So looking at his tournament history, I'm not too sure of his vanilla days, mostly because he started blooming during like the tail end of it.
Yeah, he was mostly like in Japan most of the time, I'm pretty sure. Of course, now he's sponsored by EG, and EG is one of the best sponsors you want to be in. They're known a lot for FPS games and MOBAs, and it's just a really, really good sponsor for the fighting game scene. So now Momochi is able to travel more, and he's everywhere, and he's really good.
Yeah,
really good.
So I think after Vanilla, he started gaining notoriety for Arcade Edition, and he used Yun at the time. And I think people saw him. It was Shadowloo Showdown. I forget which year, but the grand finals of that tournament, that tournament actually was pretty insane with the sheer amount of international players.
Oh yeah, this Australia, right?
Yeah, it was in Australia.
They're so close to Japan, so it's so convenient, and it's just. There were so many good players in that tournament, man. It was really, really good.
I remember the trailer for that. There's just one top Japanese player after another.
Just too much dubstep, man.
Just too much
dubstep.
But yeah, grand finals ended up being Momochi versus Punko, and Punko ended up winning that tournament. That also spawned like Punko's
That was the birth of the Red Bull, man.
Yeah,
that was the Red Bull sponsorship.
That was fucking birth of Red Bull right there.
Yeah.
And then after that, Momochi was at EVO, and he made it pretty far. I can't remember how he finished that year, but he got booed a lot. Like basically every top Japanese Yun player was getting booed at EVO, and Momochi actually commented like that affected him. Like he didn't like getting booed. So after EVO, he switched to Cody.
Yeah.
And then that was the birth of Cody right there. Like he was doing so many things with Cody that no one else had seen before. And it was just insane. I think like personally the first time I saw his Cody was at Canada Cup 2011. I actually got to play against him.
Oh yeah? How did that go?
Yeah, I got beasted. the craziest thing, and I was watching him play against like the European players, like Ryan Hart and stuff like that, and the craziest thing he was doing was confirming counter hit forward strong into Ultra 2.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Like the way he spaced it and set up the situation was just absolutely amazing. And then he was like doing what everyone thought was an unblockable setup. I forget what the setup was. It's something like maybe a forward throw dash jump roundhouse, and everyone thought that was like maybe an unblockable setup, but it turned out it was a same side setup, but it looked like a cross up or something.
You don't want to give Cody a free jump in, man.
No.
The amount of damage is insane, especially with Momochi's execution. But it's really great that Momochi kind of like he soul searched, and he wasn't particularly looking for a top tier character. He was looking for a character that suits him, and like I said, Cody was perfect because it gave Momochi like personality, basically, you know? Like, you see Cody, you think Momochi,
yeah.
and that's perfect, because when the crowd cheers him on, that he got everything he wanted, and it makes him play so much better, and he found so much tech with Cody, man. Like,
he won a couple tournaments with Cody as well. Like, I remember there was
insane.
some US tournament he attended, and grand finals ended up being him versus Ricky Ortiz, and he ended up winning that one. But I remember in Canada Cup 2011 with the 5v5, all his team members said, no, you can't use Cody. You gotta pick Yun. It's like, we're gonna win this. You gotta pick Yun. And then in the end, he defied them and picked Cody anyways.
He chose his own path. That's amazing, man. Good for him. So now, at some point in time, he switched to Ken. Because Cody got nerfed, didn't he?
He mostly got buffed, but like, it just couldn't cut it. Like, Cody just can't cut it. So
really?
He switched to...
He reached his limits?
Switched to Ken.
And I think he played some Ken too way back in the day. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Ken has been getting lots of buffs, over the years, and just it suits Momochi well too, man. Playing Ken, and it still gives him personality because there's not too many Ken players.
He plays a very weird Ken too, almost like Ham Ken or YOLO Ken.
It's just the way Momochi plays. Actually, I think Momochi, if Daigo had a shadow version of himself, like a Persona shadow version, it would be Momochi. I'm pretty sure, man, because
they both play that strong fireball game.
Momochi, right? Seriously, he's got that kind of Daigo style, man. He's really like methodical on how he plays, and he's really patient, and he plays like.
He's got a really strong footsie game.
Yeah, man. Like Momochi is really, really strong player. And like I said, I think the only difference between him and Daigo right now is their character choices.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I think if Momochi decided to play Evil Ryu, he'd play exactly like Daigo, man. I'm serious. That's how close he is to Daigo, in my opinion, of course.
Very strong player overall, but looking at the matchups for on the topic of matchups, Momochi also has a few other characters in his pocket. He has a pocket Jury, and a pocket Decapre. I don't know if he still uses Decapre or if he was just experimenting that one time at I believe it might have been CEO. Or NorCal Regionals.
He's got a lot of characters, He's kind of got like that infiltration thing going on. I don't know if he's bored with the game, because when he plays a character, he really pushes them to the limit. So I don't know if he's even bored, but it's good. It is an advantage he'll have. He'll have a huge amount of characters, but these are all, like I said, weird characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't have like a pocket, like an Evil Ryu or a Yun or a Cammy.
He doesn't have a pocket top tier, basically.
Yeah, basically, so like. You can't, usually you have a pocket character to eliminate bad matchups. Like, that's usually why you have a pocket character, right? Just to cover your bases. And it just seems like he's just picking his characters because he just wants to learn them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
who are we thinking that Momochi might struggle with?
Well, first, let's, what do you think of Momochi's chances of winning this tournament?
Not good, actually. I don't think so. I don't think he'll win. I think he'll make it pretty far into the bracket just because he's such a strong player. But yeah, I'm not really sure. We haven't seen much of Momochi play in general for Ultra Street Fighter 4, and I don't know how he's developed since Evo. So I'm kind of interested in seeing how he does.
I think personally that he has the same chance of winning it as someone like Snake Eyes, I'd say. Because Snake Eyes, he's a really, really strong player, and Momochi is a really, really strong player, but they both have their character problems, I think. So, same as Snake Eyes, I'd say, so I'd say about the medium level. It wouldn't blow my mind away if Momochi won the tournament, but I don't see it very likely either.
I think it'd be a surprise if he won the tournament.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'd definitely be happy for him, man, especially if he did it with Ken.
Yeah.
So, matchup-wise, who's he even gonna play? Is he gonna play Ken? You want to assume he plays Ken?
I think he's gonna use Ken and then might switch off to Jury in case in certain matchups, or if he loses the first set or first game of certain against certain players. I think he's probably gonna struggle with someone like Fuudo, Bonchan, Daigo, and Snake Eyes, most likely.
So everybody.
Not everybody.
Yeah, I don't know what match I'd like him to see. I like him to play Luffy because I'm sure he wants that run back for losing to him at Evo.
Yeah.
Because that's when Luffy went on his crazy like defeating every Japanese player spree. And I just personally like seeing Fireball characters play Luffy. So is there any other matchups you'd like to see?
Not really.
Yeah. It's just strange because he uses Ken.
Yeah.
So we'll see how Momochi does in the tournament. Okay, so moving on to Valmaster now. Killy, who the hell is Valmaster?
Valmaster is from France. He uses Chun-Li. And personally, I think he's probably the best Chun-Li in the world.
He is, man. I'm just gonna say he is. I don't care. I don't care.
This guy's Chun-Li is amazing. It is just insane, like how he utilizes this character. Everything is down to the T. Like he just knows all the situations, all the possible scenarios, and then just maximizes on the character.
I wish I could play Chun-Li that good, man. Like the way he plays Chun-Li, it looks so fun, and he doesn't play either too lame or too aggressive. He knows that character so well, man. Like. And actually, I haven't seen I haven't even known about this guy until that Luffy match, man.
Yeah.
Until you show me that Luffy match. Like, this guy is amazing. And he deserves to be in this tournament 100%. Like, I'm not even surprised he qualified.
This guy double jeopardied Luffy.
Yeah.
And he beat Justin Wong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh man, like you just cannot underestimate Valmaster. I think a lot of people are gonna underestimate Valmaster here.
Yeah. And man, like the Europe scene, man, like it's so good now. Just so good. They got so many good players.
Yeah, I mean, we have what 3 or 4 European players that qualified.
Yeah. So it's gonna be the international level is just insane. So it's gonna be really cool to see all these guys playing each other, and like just watch some of Valmaster's matches, man. He's so good. I can't emphasize that enough.
So, what are your thoughts on his chances at winning Capcom Pro Tour?
With all that being said, hey, I don't know, man, because like you just don't see Chun-Li that much. But I know he plays her at like the max level, you know? I guess I really have to see the brackets, and then I can kind of like picture it myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say he has the same chance of winning as I would say Momochi. At this point, I'd say about a medium level, just because I don't know the matchups that well for Chun-Li. I always look at it from a character's perspective, just because everyone's fighting level in this tournament is so high. Everyone is so good, so it could be anyone's day, basically.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking it's just slightly less than Momochi, like very, very, just slightly. Mostly because it's just a character. Like Chun-Li doesn't seem that strong in Ultra Street Fighter 4. I mean, she's a lot better now, but it just like there's so many matchups where she struggles.
It definitely looks like he's gotta work harder.
Yeah.
Than the opponent does. Because all the stuff he does, man, he definitely has to work harder. And she doesn't have a strong like Oki game. Like the way he plays her, man, the way he deals with that is so good, man. I love it. How he just jumps in. He doesn't do cross-ups. Most of the time he does not do cross-ups, and he makes something that's just so simple, and he layers it with so many different combinations, and it's a really cool way of watching Chun-Li, for sure.
So, looking at the matchups that he could face at Capcom Pro Tour, who do you think he's going to struggle with?
I want to see Snake Eyes for sure. The Chun-Li Zangief matchup would be hilarious to watch for poor Snake Eyes. I was gonna say him playing Luffy again, but I've already seen that match. I don't want to see it again.
Yeah.
But they'll definitely be looking out for each other since they probably play each other all the time, right? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Daigo would be cool too, but that'd be a fast match as well.
Yeah. I'd like to see him versus Fuudo, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be a really technical match for sure. That'd be pretty cool. The Battle of China.
Yeah.
That's what it'd be, the Battle of China, man.
So that would be pretty interesting. But I think in terms of who he'll struggle, it's like, I think given who's in the tournament, I think he could struggle pretty much everyone, just because of the character. Not necessarily because of from a player perspective, but just Chun-Li in general has to work so hard in every match.
He's so good though, man.
Yeah.
Like I hope he runs into somebody that doesn't really like know him, and I hope he just bodies them because I want him to make it as far in this tournament as possible so I can watch more of his matches because he's so entertaining to watch with Chun-Li.
But yeah, I definitely, it's me too. I hope he makes it far into this tournament. I think he can catch a lot of people by surprise. Like, I think some players are really going to underestimate Valmaster just because he uses Chun-Li. But, like, arguably, if they understand the game properly, which they should at this point, and they watch his matches, they'll realize, like, how dangerous Valmaster is.
If you guys are a fan of Chun-Li and you want to see, like, an original playstyle of her, definitely keep your eyes open for Valmaster. Alright, so continuing on, we have Razor Fuudo. He would be the second last person who qualified. And who the hell is Fuudo Killer?
Fuudo, he's from Japan, and he was more known for his skills at Virtua Fighter.
And that's a hard game, in case you guys didn't know.
Extremely difficult game, but it only has 3 buttons.
What? I didn't even know that.
Punch, kick, block, that's it.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
3 buttons, but it's like probably one of the most complicated fighting games ever.
It's stupidly complicated. Stupidly. But he's just the all-time champ in that game?
As far as I know, I don't follow Virtua Fighter too well, so I don't know, but he's the most well-known Virtua Fighter player. Him and Itabashi Zangief and one other player. And he uses Chun-Li, like this old guy who has the drunken style of fighting.
Oh, all the stances, man, just makes my brain explode. So now he's moving into Street Fighter 4. You know what? I didn't know Fuudo much in the vanilla days. I think he played Ryu.
Yeah, he played Ryu in vanilla, and he just wasn't particularly great at the game. He didn't really find his stride until like Super Arcade Edition when he switched to Fei Long.
Like, but dude, like when you play Ryu, especially in the vanilla days, it's like there are no Ryu players. There's only Daigo.
Daigo, yeah.
You know, everyone is in Daigo's footsteps when you played Ryu. It's really hard to, find a personality because everyone mimics Daigo, right? When you're playing Ryu, trying to learn how to play like Daigo. So, that's great that he changed his character, and naturally he did a lot better with Fei Long. His Fei Long is crazy good. Did he start Fei Long after Mago? I'm pretty sure.
After Mago, because he went to Mago a lot for advice.
Yeah, and I think Fei Long is perfect for him since he did come from Virtua Fighter. I think that Fei Long is a really easy character to play, especially at that time.
Yeah, and his playstyle is completely different from Mago's. Like, Mago plays a little bit more aggressive with Fei Long. Fuudo plays more defensively, footsie-oriented, like, very patient.
Very technical, yeah. Really, really good with the pokes, man. I personally think Fuudo is a better Fei Long player than Mago, to be honest. What do you think? Do you agree with that?
Well, Evo Chat, man.
I know, but let's just imagine he didn't win Evo.
Yes, I would agree. Just because Fei Long has to be played at a more patient, technical level, and I think Fuudo has the right mindset and the right playstyle to accompany that character.
And since Mago jumped ship, and now he's playing Yin and a bunch of other characters. Now, like, he has the character all to himself now, you know? So, I'm really happy that Fuudo still plays Fei Long. I think Fei Long is a lot more entertaining to watch now after they changed. He did get nerfed. The pokes and all that, the Rekka pokes aren't safe. But I do really like that Ultra does 3 hits now, man, after the juggle. I love it. Like, I love the comeback factor they gave Fei Long, and it's just a lot more entertaining to watch rather than just seeing people in the corner getting Rekka to death. But, plus, Fuudo does that nice option select Ultra, catching backdashes all day.
All day.
I remember he did that on Punko, ended Punko's reign of terror.
Like, Fuudo is just so smart when he plays. Like, he just understands player tendencies really well.
Yeah.
And he knows how to capitalize off of that.
Yeah, and like I said, Fei Long is a really simple character. He's not a high skill barrier with like combos and things like that. And he has all the time when he's playing to just read the opponent and just play his game. I think Fei Long is just perfect for Fuudo, and I hope he does not switch his character. I really hope he sticks with him all the way.
Yeah, he was talking about how that might be a disadvantage to him. Like, he really feels that Ultra SF4 is a game of matchups, and that having multiple characters really gives you an advantage. So he says, even though Fei Long is a top-tier character, it kind of puts him at a disadvantage of just having only one character.
Yeah, that's true. And these guys play for so long that they can like afford the time to learn a pocket character for sure.
So, looking at Fuudo's tournament history, ever since he switched to Fei Long, he's been performing a lot better. He's won a couple tournaments in the past. Most notable one was EVO 2012, I believe, with grand finals being Latif versus him. That match was amazing as well. Afterwards, he had strong showings at a few other tournaments, and then he started to kind of drop off. The most recent one was his qualifying for Capcom Pro Tour, which was at DreamHack last weekend, I believe. And he beat GamerB in grand finals.
Was the Ultra Select?
No. It was a bit of a heartbreaker for GamerB though.
Oh yeah, man! Like you could just see the devastation on his face. That GamerB unfortunately did not qualify for the Capcom Pro Tour, man.
He was really disheartened afterwards. I think he went on Twitter and said like he tried so hard and he's failed to qualify for Capcom Pro Tour again, and that he might be considering retiring from games.
I highly suggest that he buys a Porsche. Just like goes through some kind of
midlife
crisis and get that Porsche going and drive it for a bit. And maybe take a long walk on the beach or something, and then just come back to the game. But back to Fuudo. I did predict him to get third place last Evo, and he did get it. And I was really happy because, like I said, Fei Long has undergone some changes, and he adapted well with those changes. And you could say that last Evo was the most competitive one because everyone's getting so good at the game now that it's just getting harder and harder for them, the same players, to make it to the end.
Yeah.
And the fact that Fuudo is so consistent at these gigantic tournaments where some random Joe in the pool can take you out, that he still made it that far. So I think Fuudo is just a really strong player.
So what are your thoughts on how well he'll do at Capcom Pro Tour?
I think he'll do well. I think he definitely has a chance of winning it. I don't think people see that though. I don't think people pay too much attention to Fuudo these days. But he's always been a really strong player. And I think he'll do well. I wouldn't say a high chance, but I'd say a higher chance than most.
Yeah,
more than Momochi, more than Snake Eyes.
Yeah, for sure. I think it wouldn't come. It wouldn't be a surprise to me if he won Capcom Pro Tour, but there's still a few matchups that he's going to struggle with. But depending on how the brackets work out, he has a possibility to win this.
Yeah, I'd say higher than Snake Eyes, higher than Momochi, and a little bit lower than Daigo.
Yeah.
But I think that Fuudo is the king right now of third place. I think he's gonna get really, really high up there. He's gonna take some people out in that tournament, I predict. So what kind of matchups do you want to see for Fuudo?
I think everyone wants to avoid the Snake Eyes Fuudo run back just because of how long that match took at Evo.
No, please no. No.
I wouldn't mind seeing a run back of Luffy versus Fuudo.
You notice we always say people to play Luffy, man. I think we want everyone to play Luffy. That'd be pretty good, yeah. Like I said, it'd be when Luffy doesn't have someone who doesn't have a fireball to play against. I'd rather have like a fireball character play him, but it'd be interesting to see how Fuudo deals with that. Who else would be good against Fuudo?
Zen, maybe?
Zen would be a pretty good match too. That'd be both two really technical players. That'd be like Rekkas and crouching medium punches all day in that matchup.
Or Zen could switch to poison.
I don't think he's gonna do that.
I think it'd be really risky if he did that, but
yeah, for sure.
That'd be interesting if he did.
I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna bring their A game.
Who else? Fuudo versus. I think we mentioned Fuudo versus Valmaster.
I think we did. That'd be a really good match too. The Battle of China.
Yep.
The Battle of China.
The Battle of China.
That'd be good.
I think that's pretty much it. We've seen him play a lot of the Japanese players who are currently in this tournament. Maybe Fuudo versus Nishikin.
That'd be good. He must play against Nishikin a lot, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You don't? Are they in the same city? I don't know.
I'm not sure. But in terms, so that's the matches we want to see. But what are the matches he's most likely going to struggle with?
Snake Eyes.
I wouldn't say... Yeah, that was a really close match. Could have gone either way, but I think Fuudo is like really dominant. Not necessarily dominating, but controlling the match really well. I think he'll struggle with Luffy, because he did lose to Luffy in Evo. Daigo, he's pretty consistent. Like, he always loses to Daigo.
How do you think he'll do against Valmaster?
I don't think he's ready for that matchup, but I mean, Fei Long has an advantage in general. Well, actually, maybe not, because it's a footsie battle and Chun-Li's pokes are really good, so maybe that's not the case anymore.
I really want to see the Battle of China match.
Yeah, that'd be a really good one. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the only ones that I can see that he would struggle with at the moment.
Yeah. So Fuudo is one of the strongest players in this tournament, so expect him to place really high. So finally, the last person who's qualified for the tournament is none other than Nishikin. Killy, the final 16th person. Who the hell is Nishikin?
Nishikin, another Japanese player. I don't really know his background too well, but he's been using Blanka since the beginning, since vanilla.
I have, like, seriously have not known this guy until recently. I just know, like, Misateru because he stalked Daigo. But playing Blanka, man, since vanilla, that must have been a long, long road that he has done. But he's definitely a strong player because I've watched his matches recently, and he is really, really good with that character.
He's
really good.
Really utilizing all the buffs that Blanka got in Ultra in creative ways.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, about Blanka, man. He was best played lane back in the day in the vanilla and the older versions because of the pressure of the ball. And his close game wasn't too good. Most people relied on like a 50-50 setup with his Ultra 1, just doing a throw and doing like a gimmicky Ultra.
Yeah.
And now he actually, like with all these buffs now he has reliable ways to land Ultra. His crouching medium kick has enough frame advantage now that if you combo into Ultra 1, it's a 2-frame link now. And so you don't have to program your buttons like Daigo or something. He can just, he can double tap the 3-punch button or whatever. You can also, crouching medium kick can also combo into itself, so you can do some high punishing combos now with Blanka. You don't just go jab into electricity, or crouching medium kick to standing light into ball. You can also combo into his super off a medium ball now, and most importantly, the biggest thing to Blanka is the red focus.
Yes.
It just gives Blanka that comeback factor, reliable comeback factor that he needs. You get hit by one up ball and you're screwed, man. Red focus, and you can do either crouching medium kick twice into a ball, or you can go straight up crouching medium kick into Ultra, or just Ultra.
Yep.
What else, man? There's so much good stuff with Blanka now that it's his close medium kick is now high profile. Well, it was always high profile, but you can link a standing light punch after it now.
Yeah.
So now you got a high profile attack, so you can bait throws. You can do a jungle hop right after it, or you can just link it into standing light punch, which leads into a knockdown because of electricity, or you can just do straight up ball. And yeah, man, just basically what I'm saying is that Nishikin has started out with Blanka, and it paid off that long road because now his character is really good, even though he considers the character really weak. Because they interviewed him recently, I saw, and he considers the character very weak.
I think Blanka's a kind of a weak character in comparison to who's top tier now, but it's just Blanka's such an annoying character. Like, I hate Blanka. I hate.
Yeah, everybody hates fighting Blanka because he's kind of like a wild card. It doesn't matter if you know the matchup really good. He's got a lot of gimmicky shit.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of gimmicky shit. Like, look at Lapshy play from Canada. he has so many that people just don't want to deal with that character. His jump is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. His focus attack is really, really good. The hitbox of Blanka's focus attack, it goes much further than you see it when his arm extends out.
Moves him back initially, so you can actually like avoid attacks and then come back forward.
It's really good. You actually just want to spam that thing. He has frame advantage too after he hits you on a level 2 focus. It's really good, man.
Slide is annoying. The cross-up balls, all his reversal options.
His reversal options aren't as strong as they were before, so that's another reason why it's not good to play the lane game with Blanka anymore.
Yeah.
But I think Nishikin has adapted really well to the character.
His character's been plaguing us since CVS 2 days, man. What
tournaments has he won recently?
He qualified for through Taito Nationals, beating Bon Chan.
Poor Bon Chan.
He was at one of the U.S. tournaments. I think it was CEO but he didn't make top 16 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure he was at a couple Japanese majors or locals or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't follow Nishikin as closely, and I'm not sure of his recent tournament performance, so kind of flew under the radar for me.
I think he's been playing really well, man. I think he's gonna do really well in this tournament.
He's gonna do some damage.
So, how do you think he's gonna do? What are his chances of winning?
I think he is probably the biggest wild card of the tournament. Not an underdog, but just a wild card. You just don't know with Nishikin. I feel that if he can probably win one of his key matches in the tournament, he could just win the whole tournament.
I think he has a very, very high chance of winning. I think he has the same chance of winning as Daigo.
I'm not surprised, quite frankly. Like, I think Blanka's just such a wild card character, and I think everyone always has a tough time dealing with Blanka. Not just from a matchup perspective, but just like because the character is so gimmicky, like because he's such a awkward character to play against. Like, it really comes down to how well you know that matchup and how well you can adapt to Nishiken's playstyle. Like how fast you can do that. I think probably the players that could take him out would be Snake Eyes, Daigo, and Bonchan.
Yeah. Actually, that's pretty good. Actually, you know what? I think he can beat Bonchan.
Oh, yeah, he did beat Bonchan to qualify.
Think he can beat Bonchan, man. Because he did take Bonchan out. It would be a good matchup to see again, but I think he's got Bonchan's number. Poor Bonchan.
Okay, so excluding Bonchan, then I'd probably substitute Fuudo in there instead.
Fuudo would be interesting for sure. But I still think that Nishikin can beat Fuudo.
I strongly feel Nishikin could probably beat anyone in this tournament.
Yeah.
It's just you never know, right? Never know. Maybe he would struggle with some of the EG boys like Justin Wong or Pierre Rog.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure he does well against Rufus, but who knows, man? Just it's crazy with Nishikin's Blanka.
And like I said, Nishikin feels himself that he has a really poor chance of winning, and he feels that his character is really bad and all this, but I think he's full of shit, man. I think he's full of shit. I think he has such a good chance of winning this, and I think Blanka is amazing in Ultra Street Fighter 4. I don't care what anyone says. I think that's a fucking amazing character. So that's it, guys. We're finally done the 16 qualified players. We're going to continue this series, though, because now the bracket is released. I actually didn't look at it. I didn't. And we're going to go over the bracket so we can actually see the matchups and we can predict how they're going to go. And also I want to talk about the format of the tournament in the next episode. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys next time.